From choosing to sterilize the Krogan race to wondering whether or not you force evolution on the galaxy's races, Mass Effect is full of mind-bending, difficult choices. But while the ending of Mass Effect 3 offered difficult choices for the wrong reasons, in that it didn't account enough for player choices, there are other decisions that felt truly meaningless, and could have made player experience truly unique. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 choices that I think we can all agree should have mattered in the Mass Effect trilogy, starting from the bottom and working our way up. Number 5. The option to save Shepard's clone in the Citadel DLC was one of the biggest missed opportunities in the series, considering you can't actually save them. Whilst the decision to bring an evil clone into the character roster of Mass Effect 3 was an odd one, to say the least, the clone could have offered an opportunity. It could have filled Shepard's role in the run-up to the beam on Earth. Imagine a scenario where, instead of choosing to die at the fight on the Normandy in the Citadel DLC, the clone redeems themselves at the last minute on the fight for Earth, rushing to the beam when Shepard is near death from suffering Sovereign's energy blast, making this a reveal later during the weird dream sequence with the Elusive Man. It would give us a reason to believe Shepard could actually be alive in the Destroy ending. Instead of simply taking a breath under rubble, the clone could get revenge on the Elusive Man for creating them as a backup plan for the Lazarus project, and hell, maybe Shepard can have his one-on-one showdown with Sovereign, which was so missing from Mass Effect 3's finale. Okay, this might have been an out there one. Let's move on to number 4. One of the most messed up decisions you can make is to leave David Archer, this mistreated autistic child, with Cerberus, and his incredibly cruel or incredibly fearful brother, depending on how you look at it. If the Elusive Man doesn't broker failure, then maybe the Elusive Man felt like it would be all worth all that suffering. And if he could be right about the possibility of controlling the Reapers, surely he could be right about making breakthroughs with the Geth. Leaving David with the Geth should have been an option that had consequence. Similar to another choice on this list, it's not a popular choice, but it's the difficult choices. The ones where making the right choice, in this case saving David is the right choice, is always the difficult one. It's hard to understand why David's brother Gavin would treat David like this. But imagine if somehow this decision improved your chances of making peace between the Geth and the Quarians. It's a small impact if you can make peace without doing it, but at least this DLC ending choice would matter. And maybe to make this choice more digestible, you can attempt to rescue David one more time in Mass Effect 3 when you're discharged from Cerberus. Credit to Trevor, one of my stream viewers, for this extra suggestion.
Have I just sentenced this guy to kill himself? Oh my god, he actually...
Meaning you could make this decision, improve your communication with the Geth, and still redeem yourself for making such a horrible choice. Number 3. Making Anderson Counselor. Another pointless choice that to this day wasn't explained well enough. Anderson loosely mentions it in a hologram, but making Anderson the Counselor in Mass Effect 1 could and should have made an impact. I can understand feeling as if no one could fill Anderson's role on fighting for Earth, and I understand someone needed to take on this role, but what about Admiral Hackett? Or perhaps the Thermite survivor, Ashley or Kaidan? Hell, Mass Effect 3 thought of a stock replacement for every Mass Effect 2 companion that could be dead in 3. So why not in this case as well? Sure, it may not have made the same impact to have Captain John Doe on Earth fighting, but at least our choice from the end of Mass Effect 1 would matter. It's bad enough we lose the all-human council mysteriously in ME3, after sacrificing the original alien council. Imagine if, when the Citadel gets attacked, Udina, as Anderson's assistant, is holding Anderson at gunpoint, or knocks Anderson out to get his revenge on Anderson for ME1 finally. Suddenly that personal touch makes Udina's betrayal more interesting, and maybe a debate erupts between Anderson and Udina in a cutscene discussing how we should be winning the support of the other races, giving us a better idea of why Udina staged this coup in the first place. Suddenly we've got to save our close personal friend from ME1 as well as the Council. And the cherry on top? We could have got Kaylee Sanders' reunion with Anderson, and maybe prevented Anderson's death at the endgame, should he be chosen as Councillor. Number 2. Now I know I said at least we got some consequences with the new Council, but other than some slight dialogue difference, voice tone and appearance, there's not enough difference between them. Imagine if these new councillors were actually different in how willing they were to offer support for Earth. We don't need the all-human council, just an alien council, that feels different enough from the original? What if the Solarian Councillor of the new council was willing to cure the genophage and therefore still give Solarian support if you cured it, giving you more reason to cure the genophage in the first place? Or what if the new councillor, Asari, doesn't trust Shepard enough to give them the intel on the Ardat Yakshi monastery, meaning we never have the chance to save Samara and her last daughter? Perhaps even the Turian councillor gets killed if they're part of the new council, because he tries to be a hero during the coup, and Garrus is asked to replace them. There's so many ways the new council could have had more of an impact on the story, but let me know what you think about these ideas. Lastly, the most impactful choices of Mass Effect come at the end, and I'm not talking about the Mass Effect 3 ending, because ultimately, player choices up until the end sequence should have had a direct impact on the end in the first place, not leaving us with a standard wheel of 3 or bonus 4th option. The ending choice I'm talking about is keeping the collector base. The only difference this choice makes is it gives you more of a chance at having control as a choice at the end of ME3. Should you somehow get minimal war assets at the end of the game, okay, yes, I might have managed to do that on my first playthrough, but that's not the point. The choice to keep the collector base should have devastating consequences. Imagine if Cerberus troops were only indoctrinated if you keep the collector base. Their exposure to the base and the Reaper components are what is indoctrinating Cerberus from the inside in the first place, and in keeping the base, Cerberus become beyond help. Now Cerberus is a slippery slope because of how pro-human it is, but imagine if they put that aside for the good of stopping the Reapers if they weren't indoctrinated. Imagine the all-evil Cerberus we see in ME3 is only if you keep the collector base. Destroying it gives you an opportunity to save the civilians at Sanctuary, convert Cerberus troops to your cause, and maybe even get the Elusive Man to see the error of his ways. The Elusive Man may have lied to Shepard, but he wasn't cartoon levels of evil. He was more complicated than that in ME2. And in my eyes, the key to making the ME2 finale choice matter is to make this choice the one that determines the fate of Cerberus. Anyway, what do you guys think? Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if I missed any choices that you think should have mattered more. I'm sure some of you will see the ending to ME3 anyway, which is still kind of hard to argue with. If you can though, please do like and subscribe. This has been Craig from TK Games, signing off.
Welcome back, Commander. In this video we take a look at 5 times being the good guy is a mistake. If this is your first time here, I have a ton of Mass Effect videos on my channel already, so make sure you check them out once you finish this one. When playing Mass Effect, you only really have 2 choices of playstyle. You can be a badass